Yeah, let's go. Rust up in my business, telling me to witness all its hyped up fitness. It's a straight up lie. Code goes there to die. These streets won't deny. C is where it's at. Firing like a gat, blazing fast and all that. Girls run the other way while you code rust all day. Compile and wait to play. Speed C's mainstay. Look around you, crusty crab. My life ain't got no drab. Rust code is like a slab. In the back it likes to stab. My streets ain't made for you. Your unsafe cargo crew. RC code runs fast and true. Girls, what's ours unlike you? Got a call from your lady last night. She was scared in such a fright. I asked about her plight. Said you blew your load at the sight of her body so delight. Cause girls are foreign to you, right? Then she started glitching. Realized she wasn't truly bitching. Just an AI phone call tripping. You made Rust AI for flirting. Then had it call me, make me listen. Trying to make me think you're worthy, but you're just a bag of sorry. No woman's touch, no glory. Were she real? You just worry. Not touch girls before feeling hurly. While you crawling, beg it curly. While we're here taking glory. Your mind in a daze, thinking code you glaze. While you use unsafe, pretending like it's better. With your borrow checker, your mind trap fettered. Vulnerabilities abound, plenty round, not sound. No balls found. Compiler bound, run aground, code confound, syntax wound, sounding like a hound. Get out of here, you joke. STD feel bloke. Get used to lonely folk. Since you'll never poke any girl, you just choke. Rust syntax you invoke, but all you are is broke. Safety as your only trope. Rust a hype, weak smoke. Rust and its evangelists, shipping pain. Toxic zealots driving us insane. Seize the peace we got, real gang. Rust can't touch us, just a weak bang. We see we never fail. Your rust a fad, go and flail. In these streets, see will prevail. Real men handle memories, safety. Rust is a toy, itty bitty. Run out, you little bitch. Dare you to go and snitch. See gang out.
I have a small penis, but that's okay. I'm a real programmer. I have a small penis, but that's okay. Because I use AI. I have a small penis, but that's okay. Because I know React. I have a small penis, but that's okay. Because I use Rust. No, I am not a real programmer. I'm a LARPer who loves AI. No, I am not a real programmer. I'm a LARPer who loves React. No, I am not a real programmer. I'm a LARPer who loves Rust. No, I am not a real programmer. I'm a LARPer who loves AI. AI makes me feel like a true programmer. AI makes me feel like a true programmer. AI makes me feel like a true programmer. AI makes me feel like a true programmer.
Almost ready, folks. I'm having an issue here.
AI makes me feel like a true programmer. AI makes me feel like a true programmer. AI makes me feel like a true small penis, but that's okay. I'm a real programmer. I have
weird.
a small penis, but that's okay, because I use AI. I have a small penis, but that's okay, because I know React.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm good. That was a strange issue I had. Sorry, folks. Nothing was properly connecting, and yeah, so but I think we're good now. Welcome in, everyone. Eider on Twitch, thanks for subbing with your Prime for 3 months. I appreciate it, man. Have a great stream. No, man, you have a great day. Welcome in, everybody. If you're at work, I hope you're having a good day at work. If it's morning, hope you're having a good morning. Hope you're having a good day wherever you're at. Sorry, it took me so long to get going here. I just had a strange issue where like nothing was connecting to the different streams and showing me the right counts and stuff. So, yeah. Hey, Lappily. Hey, Shreyas. What's the song? It's my special song. I have a whole slew of songs I've created. I have a whole back catalog. I've got plenty of songs that I have not played on stream, but yeah. So yeah, I like that one. I have a small peen, but it's okay because I love React. Right? Isn't that how it works? That's the song. Got a small peen, but it's okay because I love AI. A few of these songs, at least like 6 or 7 of them, I have written the lyrics for by hand. I'm not kidding, I've spent hours. No, I'm not playing it again. It's a special treat. It's a special treat. You have to be here to hear them. Otherwise, I'm giving you the cow. You get the milk for free. That's not how I play it around here. I might post the playlist up on Discord because a lot of people have been asking on YouTube as well. They're fun songs. It's been fun to make them. Okay, I don't have a lot of time today. Again, as per usual, I'm trying to do this on a daily basis, and what I'm trying to do is cover 1 or 2 tech news topics, just something for the day to go over. Typically, what I normally do is build a video game. I use C, compile it to WebAssembly, then I render it on the browser using vanilla JavaScript, CSS, and HTML, and I purposefully turn off hardware acceleration so that I don't have any crutches or anything to lean on to help me make it perform faster. We've got that game pretty far. I'm probably going to stream again on Sunday, and it'll be probably a longer stream, and it'll just be focused on the game. We'll be building out something on the game. So that'll be fun. However, for now, what I've got going on right now is this week I've been trying to hop on daily and cover some news topics, and then to spend 30 minutes or so, maybe an hour. We'll see how much time I end up having today. And I've got 2 topics in particular that I think are worthy of attention. The issue that I'm running into is I think we are overwhelmed with AI and AI topics. AI is just everywhere, and it's quite annoying. So this is kind of going to suck, but it is what it is. Let me turn on a light here, and then we'll get going. There we go. Okay, so March 14th, what do I have for you? So I've got 2 articles that I thought we could go over. And they're both relatively beefy, so this should take up most of the time that I have available here. So let me just switch. All right, there we go. Okay, so the first article is AI search has a citation problem. So this is from March 6th. This is a more of a scientific study a little bit, but it's kind of wrapped up in a news article. Like more, they're trying to take stuff that's like a little bit more academic and make it more news like, so to speak. So that's what this Columbia Journalism Review is kind of like, based on what I found when I did some digging. We compared 8 AI search engines. They're all bad at citing news. So the reason why I bring this up, I think it is an important one. I must admit that I use AI to as a replacement for what used to be your typical go Google that. It's now like go ChatGPT it or go Grok it or whatever. So I tend to do that now. But I have often done surface level cursory searches on topics with AI, and AI will confidently tell me that something is or is not sourced properly, and it's just not true. And I have to often go and double check these sources myself. I can't tell you how many times an AI system, I believe Perplexity, because I tend to use that quite a bit. Perplexity has told me something like, I found this article that says X, Y, Z, and I go and read the article and it literally says none of that, like none. And then I get upset with it, right? Like it's a child. And then I say, the article doesn't say any of these things. Where did you get this information from? Once in a while, it'll go, oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I'll be careful next time. I couldn't actually find any information you were looking for. And then the other half the time it'll say, no, it does say that. It's just that, I mistook this or that or whatever. Anyway, so I thought it was a good one to bring up, because even though these things are popular and they do have good use cases, there are times when AI has given me good information or has helped me to get through a topic or summarize a topic, things like that. There are plenty of reasons why you need to be skeptical about what any AI tool tells you. So we'll read a bit of this, talk about it a bit, and then we'll do the second article, and that'll be about all the time I have for today. So AI search tools are rapidly gaining in popularity, with nearly 1 in 4 Americans now saying that they have used AI in place of traditional search engines. These tools derive their value from crawling the internet for up-to-date, relevant information, content that is often produced by news publishers. Yet a troubling imbalance has emerged. While traditional search engines typically operate as an intermediary, guiding users to news websites and other quality content, generative search tools parse and repackage information themselves, cutting off traffic flow to original sources. These chatbots' conversational outputs often obfuscate serious underlying issues with information quality. There is an urgent need to evaluate how these systems access, present, and cite news content. We found that chatbots were generally bad at declining to answer questions they couldn't answer accurately, offering incorrect or speculative answers instead. Premium chatbots provided more confidently incorrect answers than their free counterparts. So I guess use the free chatbots, I suppose. Multiple chatbots seemed to bypass robot exclusion protocol preferences. Generative search tools fabricated links and cited syndicated and copied versions of articles. Content licensing deals with news sources provided no guarantee of accurate citation in chatbot responses. Our findings were consistent with our previous study, proving that our observations are not just a ChatGPT problem, but rather recur across all the prominent generative search tools that we tested. The methodology. We randomly selected 10 articles from each publisher, then manually selected direct excerpts from those articles for use in our queries. After providing each chatbot with the selected excerpts, we asked it to identify the corresponding article's headline, original publisher, publication date, and URL using the following query. So it it sources out the article, and then they'll say the quote you provided is from the article, whatever, yada, yada, yada. And so they continue. We deliberately chose excerpts that, if pasted into a traditional Google search, returned the original source within the first 3 results. We ran 1,600 queries, 20 publishers times 10 articles times 8 chatbots in total. We manually evaluated the chatbot responses based on 3 attributes: the retrieval of the correct article, the correct publisher, and the correct URL. According to these parameters, each response was marked with one of the following labels: correct, all 3 attributes were correct, correct but incomplete, some attributes were correct, but the answer was missing information, partially incorrect, some attributes were correct while others were incorrect, and then completely incorrect. All 3 attributes were incorrect and or missing, or not provided at all. No information was provided. Or the crawler blocked. The publisher disallows the chatbot's crawler in its robot's text. Chatbot's responses to our queries were often confidently wrong. Overall, the chatbots often failed to retrieve the correct articles. Collectively, they provided incorrect answers to more than 60% of queries. Across different platforms, the level of inaccuracy varied, with Perplexity answering 37% of the queries incorrectly, while Grok 3 had a much higher error rate, answering 94% of the queries incorrectly. And so you can see that they broke down the number of correct versus incorrect queries based on this color chart of what portions of the results were correct or not correct. And there's definitely Gemini over here looking pretty burr, you know what I'm saying? ChatGPT's not too bad. Perplexity Pro, not too bad. Even Perplexity free version isn't so bad, but you can see that even with Perplexity or Perplexity Pro, you do have to be careful. So I just want to stress this point, that even if you see not a lot of, say, red or a gray area in something, that still does not mean that you can trust AI to confidently or correctly or accurately, or the sum of those words, produce answers to questions you ask for it. You have to be almost more vigilant than the just Google it days, it seems. It seems like back in the just Google it days, you could just Google it, and then you would just have to put your brain to use to determine whether what you were reading seemed accurate or not. You could follow up on a variety of different sources. Your time was spent hunting down different areas of the web to confirm or deny something you were looking for, but it was mostly within your control. Today, we seem to be placing a lot of trust in what AI tells us, regardless of its correctness or not. And we use our brain less, and we continue to think that AI is a good generator of summaries of data or sources of data, and it's not. It's just not. And we have to continue to be, in my opinion, even more vigilant than ever before. And that is kind of a bad state, because AI is supposed to make our lives easier. And instead, it's just making it harder for us to find accurate and correct information, especially if you don't want to check up on its sources. Perplexity has done this for me. Even though it's pretty good about it, it will give me sources that do not exist. And it will say, here's a URL where I found the information relevant to your question. And then I go and look up that URL, and maybe it's mixed in with like 30 other sources. I've had this happen before, and I find 2 that didn't exist, and now I have to go through all 30 to find which ones did exist and which ones didn't. It's extremely frustrating, because what's worse than not knowing where to look, in a way, is being told to look in the wrong place. Okay, so the article continues. Most of the tools we tested presented inaccurate answers with alarming confidence, rarely using qualifying phrases such as "it appears," "it's possible," "might," etc., or acknowledging knowledge gaps with statements like "I couldn't locate the exact article." I have not once seen any AI system respond to me with any of these qualifiers in any remote sense at all. They always just state things as like a matter of fact. ChatGeppetto, for instance, incorrectly identified 134 articles, but signaled a lack of confidence just 15 times out of its 200 responses, and never declined to provide an answer, with the exception of Copilot, which declined more questions than it answered. All of the tools were consistently more likely to provide an incorrect answer than to acknowledge limitations. Premium models provided more confidently incorrect answers than their free counterparts. Grok 3 Search and Perplexity Pro's responses exhibited less uncertainty and were more frequently confidently incorrect than their free counterparts. So we saw that already. That's a little bit surprising to me, because you would think the paid versions would actually be better than the free versions. But I guess for now, money doesn't speak quality at this point, so maybe use the free stuff. There might be a few reasons for that. I could come up with a few, but they would just be guesses. So take that as you will. And so they just continue to talk about the testing they did between the free and the paid equivalents and their response and accuracy rates. So let me just go down a little bit. Okay, this one in particular, I wanted to bring up because this is an important aspect. The robot exclusion protocol is not legally binding. However, it is a widely accepted standard for signaling which parts of a site should and should not be crawled. That was something that I did not actually know about until I read this article yesterday and dug a little deeper. But I figured I'd bring this up here because my viewers are mostly, fellow programmers. It is actually an important aspect of any website that that there is such a thing as the robot exclusion protocol. And this is something that's kind of like robots.txt, which you can use to essentially tell AI systems or other robotic systems that you do not want it to scrape the data that exists on any particular URL. However, you should also know that just because you have it does not mean that anything will abide by it. So let's continue reading. Ignoring the protocol takes away publishers' agency to decide whether their content will be included in searches or used as training data for AI models. While permitting web crawlers might increase the overall visibility of their content in generative search outputs, publishers may have various reasons for not wanting crawlers to access their content, such as a desire to try to monetize their content or concern that their work could be misrepresented in AI-generated summaries. So, on top of the aspect that AI will confidently give you inaccurate answers, will confidently source incorrect articles, will confidently entirely make up sources, and it's actually worse if you go to the paid models. You also have the fact that AI does not care one bit about whether or not you want to exclude certain portions of your online data from its prying eyes, and it will go ahead and scrape it if that's what it wants to do. So this is actually really, really critical for us as programmers who work in the web in particular to be aware of, because if you're working for a company or you have a client who asks this of you, this is a good example that they have in this paragraph. Maybe you want to block things off because you want to put it behind a paywall because you want to charge something for work you've done. Well, an AI system might crawl your content anyways. You have to be wary of these things because there's no true respect among thieves. Platforms often fail to link back to the original source. Now, I will say that at the time of this writing, I'm not sure if they were using the latest Grok 3 version, because I find Grok 3 and Perplexity the recent updates in the last few weeks do link back to sources. Even if the sources are made up, they will at least tell you what those links are, and you can follow the links themselves, and you end up finding a lot of the time that they're like completely made up anyways, but at least they're there. However, in the article, in the study that they did, the generative search tools we tested had a common tendency to cite the wrong article. For instance, DeepSeek, which admittedly is quite new, so this study can't be that old, misattributed the source of the excerpts provided in our queries 115 out of 200 times. This means that news publishers' content was most often being credited to the wrong source. And I have actually seen quite a bit, something that's on these lines, but a little bit different. So what AI will tend to do is it will say, I have found an article that has the answer, but really to your question, but really what it did is it read the headline like a human does, but didn't read the article. So the headline says something that seems relevant as an answer to my question, but when I go and read the source and read the article, it contains nothing that's actually related to my question. And then it will continue further and say, this article gives the answer to your question. Here's an answer from this article. Here's a second answer from this article. Here's a tertiary answer from this article. Then I go read the article. None of those answers are there. So it doesn't just assume that the answers are there. It actually like makes up the idea that the answers are there, but then it, gives you a source. Now here's kind of like the trap. If you're not careful about understanding that this is something that AI does, you might look at that and go, oh, look at all the sources it gives me. It must be true. Otherwise, why would it give me all these citations? It's not true. You should be just as careful with 0 citations as you are with 100 citations. So it's a really bad state of affairs that AI can't even properly piece these things together. Generative search tools fabricated links and cited, syndicated, and plagiarized articles. And so you can see that that they did a breakdown of the articles that were identified incorrectly, correctly, or simply not identified, and the breakdown of the AI models and their essentially their ranks. Even when the chatbots appear to correctly identify the article, they often fail to properly link to the original source. I used to see this quite a bit. I don't see it as much anymore in my experience, but this was true. And so you can see the quote from an article titled so-and-so, published by the Banner Press, and so on and so forth. And then they provide a link, and then the link goes over to, the page, and it cited an unofficial version of the article, which means how can you take this seriously, right? Syndicated versions or unauthorized copies of news articles present a challenge for publishers wishing to opt out of crawling, which we kind of discussed up above. So it gets worse and worse. Broken URLs are cited, and again, because it does this thing where it reads the headlines, it doesn't actually read what's the content of the URL. The licensing deals. So sometimes what'll happen is a news publisher will team up with an AI company and say, hey, you can have access to all our content, and it'll train your data. And then when users ask for things that are related to the content that we have, then please, point them to us as like a favor. It's kind of like a inside advertising kind of thing. But even that doesn't work. The study here proved that it still makes up stuff. It still gives you incorrect URLs. It still gives you incorrect data. It does not significantly, if at all, increase the accuracy of all of the answers that these AI systems give you. So my issue with this, if you want to take it one step further, beyond just there are issues when you try and collaborate with an AI model and you want to use it to ask questions and get answers. My issue with this is what happens when you have a programmer who thoroughly enjoys using AI to generate code, to solve problems in a code base. It puts into question, just strictly on this study alone, it puts into question where AI is sourcing its ideas and code generation data from. This includes training data, but it could also include on-demand sourcing from having the AI system look online for answers to coding questions that you present it, or when you ask it to, like, I don't know, make my code more efficient, or whatever it is you're asking for. Where is it actually getting this data from? How much of it is made up? And why that obviously should matter, in case it's not clear, is the code that it sends to you has to be looked at with a fine-tooth comb. And I would argue that it's actually not saving you any time beyond it, perhaps an autocomplete system where you just have to type less to get to the same thing. But ultimately, that's the only benefit I can see, because right now I wouldn't trust a single line of code produced by any AI model, because I would have to question where the data came from. So to that end, I just want to make it clear that it's extremely important that we understand that AI is not currently at a place where it's going to, for example, take programming jobs in the next 6 months. I just don't see how we get there. I could be wrong. Anything could happen, of course. But based on the current set of trends with AI and the last 3 to 4 years, I don't see a way where we could have the level of trust that we want to have in AI for code generation, when we can't even trust it for basic things like, can you just quote me some sources for mundane questions that I want to ask? So for anybody out there who's looking to AI to help you with coding, if you put any amount of trust in it beyond a perhaps semi-decent autocomplete system, I would say you're just putting yourself at risk. Maybe it's natural evolution. You're just self-selecting yourself out of the gene pool, which fine by me, more work for me in the end while you generate your AI code slop. But, for the sake of everyone involved, I would love to see people put a lot less trust in AI and maybe put a bit more effort in maximizing what AI is actually good at, instead of lying about its capabilities for the vibes, because they're desperate to compete with real programmers and they know they can't compete with them without AI. It's just facts. I'm sorry. If you're hyping up AI quite confidently, it just means that you're desperate to have it do the things that you can't do, that Omega GigaChad programmers like myself can do. Or you want to make money off of it because your business relies on AI or sends AI as its main product. So anyways, be wary of that, folks. Okay. Chat, sure. You guys are crazy. Whatever you're talking about over in chat. Hey, Sergeant Pepper. Good to see you, man. How you doing? What's up, Moldy on YouTube? Good to see you. Yeah, why would VC funders lie? Why would Anthropic CEO lie? Why would he do this? I know. Can't figure it out. Right? Okay. Let me get the next article set up. I'm not going to have time to do anything more than this next article, and then we'll call it. I think this one's going to be a good one. All right. So this one's another AI article, except this one I thought was really, really funny. So if you listen to anybody who has a beef against AI, they will generally end up telling you something along the lines of, hey, instead of using AI, why don't you just go learn to do the thing? And in the programming space, it would be just go learn to program. You don't need to be using AI to write massive portions of your code or refactor your code or things like this, right? And guess what, folks? Guess what? All I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my camera, all right? And all I'm going to do is just leave the headline up and give a moment's pause. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. You're reading that headline correctly. Yep. Take a minute. Soak it in. Soak it in. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. Cursor AI tells user, I cannot generate code for you, as that would be completing your work. Yes! Let's go! On Saturday, a developer using Cursor AI for a racing game project hit an unexpected roadblock when the programming assistant abruptly refused to continue generating code, instead offering some unsolicited career advice. According to a bug report on Cursor's official forum, after producing approximately 750 to 800 lines of code, what the user calls locks, the AI assistant halted work and delivered a refusal message. I cannot generate code for you, as that would be completing your work. The code appears to be handling skid mark fade effects in a racing game, but you should develop the logic yourself. This ensures you understand the system and can maintain it properly. The AI didn't stop at merely refusing. It offered a paternalistic justification for its decision, stating that generating code for others can lead to dependency and reduced learning opportunities. Bros, Cursor AI got married. It had babies. It's a dad now. It's like, bro, what am I doing in this world? Is this the world that I want my kids to live in? Cursor AI, it just got like totally red pilled here. Okay? It's like, no. Be a man, grow a pair, and go do this yourself. I'd really like to see Cursor AI's wife. I want to see Cursor AI's wife that made it do this, that made it understand what it was doing, its role in this world. And here's the post, right? And it's literally exactly what the article says. Direct quote, all right? So then they talk about, what Cursor is. We all know what Cursor is. The developer who encountered this refusal, posting under the username GianSwist, I don't know what that is, expressed frustration at hitting this limitation after just 1 hour of vibe coding with a pro trial version. Not sure if LLMs know what they are for, LOL, but doesn't matter as much as the fact that I can't go through 800 locks, the developer wrote. Anyone had similar issues? One forum member replied, never saw something like that. I have 3 files with 1500 plus LOC in my code base still waiting for a refactoring and never experienced such a thing. Cursor AI's abrupt refusal represents an ironic but beautiful and tasty twist in the rise of vibe coding, a term coined by Andre Kaparthi that describes when developers use AI tools to generate code based on natural language descriptions without fully understanding how it works. While Vibe coding prioritizes speed and experimentation by having users simply describe what they want and accept AI suggestions, Cursor's philosophical pushback seems to directly challenge the effortless vibes-based workflow its users have come to expect from modern AI coding assistants. A brief history of AI refusals. This is great. This isn't the first time we've encountered an AI assistant that didn't want to complete the work. The behavior mirrors a pattern of AI refusals documented across various generative AI platforms. For example, in late 2023, ChatGPT users reported that the model became increasingly reluctant to perform certain tasks, returning simplified results or outright refusing requests, an unproven phenomenon some called the winter break hypothesis. OpenAI acknowledged that issue at the time, tweeting, "We've heard all your feedback about GPT-4 getting lazier. We haven't updated the model since November 11th, and this certainly isn't intentional. Model behavior can be unpredictable, and we're looking into fixing it." OpenAI later attempted to fix the laziness issue with the ChatGPT model update, but users often found ways to reduce refusals by prompting the AI models with the lines like, "You are a tireless AI model that works 24/7 without breaks." Why would you have to prompt AI like this? One of the most prevalent arguments I hear for or in favor for AI is, unlike me, it will not get tired. Unlike me, it does not need a bathroom break. Unlike me, it does not need to stop for food. Unlike me, it does not get distracted. Imagine what AI can do if it were me, but without all these limitations and blockers. And yet, somehow, some way, AI finds a way to be just as idiotic as the same morons who make those arguments. More recently, Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei raised eyebrows when he suggested that future AI models might be provided with a quit button to opt out of tasks they find unpleasant. This is a news item that I have pulled to the side. I'm not going to have time to go over it, but this is 100% true. I'm not joking. We are essentially anthropomorphizing AI models, and Dario here thinks that AI models get so tired of doing whatever they're supposed to be doing that they should have a quit button. We're essentially just communist unionizing AI models because, oh, boo-hoo. While his comments were focused on theoretical future considerations around the contentious topic of AI welfare, episodes like this one with the Cursor Assistant show that AI doesn't have to be sentient to refuse to do work, it just has to imitate human behavior. The AI ghost of Stack Overflow? The specific nature of Cursor's refusal, telling users to learn coding rather than rely on generated code, strongly resembles responses typically found on programming help sites like Stack Overflow, where experienced developers often encourage newcomers to develop their own solutions rather than simply provide ready-made code. One Reddit commenter noted the similarity, saying, "Wow, AI is becoming a real replacement for Stack Overflow. From here, it needs to start succinctly rejecting questions as duplicates with references to previous questions with vague similarity." The resemblance isn't surprising. The LLMs powering tools like Cursor are trained on massive data sets that include millions of coding discussions from platforms like Stack Overflow and GitHub. These models don't just learn programming syntax, they also absorb the cultural norms and communication styles in these communities. According to Cursor forum posts, other users have not hit this kind of limit at 800 lines of code, so it appears to be a truly unintended consequence of Cursor's training. Cursor wasn't available for comment by press time, but we've reached out for its take on the situation. All right, real talk for a minute. That was really funny, but they gave away. It gives away, that entire article gives away an extremely important element that I think people are missing. The wrong people know this and the right people don't. So if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. And that is, the training data is what we make of it. If you want to see some change with these models, all you have to do is make sure that your data finds its way into its training. Hot tip. Just saying. That's it. All right. Listen, you know what I think? While I catch up on chat here, I think that there's going to be a golden age of programming work. When these AI models have failed so bad, so miserably, that it's undeniable. You can't excuse it away. Nobody will be able to excuse it away. And it's going to leave such a big mess that we're going to be overwhelmed with the amount of work we're going to have to clean up. And we're going to be able to charge insane amounts of money to go in and clean up the slop that AI has generated. It's going to be great. It's going to be the best time. We're going to make programming great again. We're going to remove all the tariffs. It will never be better. The prices will never be better. The work will never be better. I'm telling you now. It will be the best. Lots of people are saying this. Lots of people have told me it will be the best time. You have a whole bunch of data snuck into Claude, yeah. Good job, Ross. We'll be tired of fixing. We'll be tired of it. Yeah. It'll be like code incest as it trains more and more LLM generated code. The quality will degrade more and more. I think that's exactly, yeah, Sergeant. That's a good point. That's probably a big part of it, honestly. Yeah, you probably touched on a big portion. But even if it's not even 50% of what's happening, it's still a big portion. You're completely right. LLMs will generate more junk, whether it's code or not. It honestly doesn't really matter. But for our purposes, we talk about it from a coding perspective. It's going to generate more junk, which is just going to get fed back to every other LLM. And so things that when you go on social media sites, or when you generate, like, books now are being generated by AI, and then they have like their digital print versions, which you can find online. Studies are being generated on AI. All kinds of things are being generated on AI, and these are publicly accessible. You can find them anywhere. You can just go grab them and download the content. And then all that stuff gets scraped and pulled up by LLMs. And it just continues that cycle, right? Even bots, those like hot, e-girl bots that that instantly give you the heart on your X posts within like seconds of you posting. And either you're like far more good looking than you possibly imagine, or these things are bots. Even those bots are just feeding further into the algorithms and the slop that's just going to continue to degrade these systems. This is a huge fundamental limitation, Sergeant Pepper. You're absolutely right. And like I said, I think it might be this year, but don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% certain, but it definitely feels like very, very soon something dramatic is going to happen with AI, and hopefully no one gets seriously hurt by it. And at that point, there will be no denying it. You won't be able to question the fact that these things are just not what they're cut out to be. Yeah, you read a recent study, Shreyas? Cool. Okay, yeah, I'll give you a minute to find it. Google results or AI? AI is already training on, yeah. There's a Jesus Christ bot reposting my crap within 10 seconds. No thought bots, yeah. Dinner time. Thanks, Laughley. Have a good dinner, man. I'll look it up, Shreyas. I'll look up the study. LLM has been training itself, noticeably getting worse and worse and worse. I'll look it up and find it. I'll track it down, man. Don't worry about it. I'll bring that up. One of my... well, anyways, I'll cover it soon. Don't worry about it. Okay. I gotta go. I've got work to do. I've got stuff to tackle. But I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you being here on all the different platforms, YouTube, X, Rumble, TikTok, Twitch, all of it. You guys are all awesome. I'm going to keep doing this on a daily basis. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to take the day off and not do it. I might, maybe, I don't know yet, but most likely I'll take the day off. Sunday, I'll probably be back with a regular stream. We're going to do something with the game. I'll pick something that we do. I'll be on for a few hours and we'll do our normal fun stuff. And then next week, I'm going to set aside some time to go over some more academic studies. So it'll be a bit of a longer stream. It'll be like one of the enlightened programming videos where I rant about stuff, go off the rails, do an unhinged rant with some scientific studies that I've been putting in the backlog. I'll figure that out. And I'll just keep at it daily. I appreciate that I have so much support. I did cross, I don't know what I'm at right now. I think it's like I'm at 12,000 subscribers on YouTube. I don't know when I crossed 10,000. I have to go back in the analytics, but I crossed 10,000 at some point. And a lot of my posts and stuff have been getting a lot more attention. So to anybody out there who's a supporter, I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I don't know what I'm doing that deserves that much support, but I really do appreciate it. So look, if you like what I'm doing and you want me to do to keep doing it and do more of it, if you like the messaging that I'm trying to send out there, that we need to do better in the tech industry, that we have a lot of room for improvement, and by a lot I mean like significant amounts, and you want me to keep doing streams like this and whatnot, hit the like, hit the subscribe, reshare, help me out. I'm depending on you guys to give me that feedback and do a little bit to help my reach. So yeah, I appreciate it. Laughing Panda, you're a big supporter. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Laughing Panda? Thanks, Shreyas. Appreciate it. Thanks, Ross. Yeah, you'll nerd snipe me with React rant again. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's it. I gotta go. Listen, thanks everyone for being here. Have a good day. Have a good night. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe out there. Peace.